And we are live. Good day, everyone. This is Juanita Kapp from South Africa, Meticulous Moments. But I'm not streaming from South Africa today. I am streaming from Texas. And I have with me my brother, my friend, and my colleague, David Vrablik. And we're going to be talking about New Beginnings motivation today. What do we do at New Beginnings? Why it started. It's a wonderful story that has unfolded over a couple of years. So very excited to have my guest with me today. Let's welcome David Vrablik to the stage. How are you, David?
I am amazing, Juanita. Welcome to Texas. Sure, it's nice and warm down there, but thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And, it's always such a wonderful experience to engage with you, David, because you are always so positive. I think that attitude of gratitude, that attitude of positive energy really sets the tone for your day. And, we were talking before the show today, sometimes we have hectic mornings, guys. I mean, in the audience, if you've had a hectic morning before, tell us in the comments what happened during that day, because a lot of the times it starts off that way, but it becomes an amazing day. These breakthroughs. Have you had any of those mornings before?
Many, many times throughout the years, but especially like this morning, I woke up a little bit. My alarm clock didn't go off, and it was 7:45. I was like, "Uh-oh." And I jumped up out of bed, and the next thing I know, I had to take care of my Australian Shepherd Border Collie mix running around outside, getting her to do her business and getting her in the kennel and feeding her, and then coming downstairs. And then for some reason, the Wi-Fi wasn't working, had to restart my computer, and I thought I was going to be late, and I hate being late. But by the miracle of God, like he always does, I jumped on like 5 minutes in time advance, and here I am. But it just tests how you're going to be. You can either take it and be grumpy and be upset. Mm-hmm. That's how your day is going to start. Or typically how I do it is take it as a learning opportunity and say, okay, if my morning is going to be this busy, what am I going to do to how to handle it for the rest of my day? Because I have a busy rest of my day, and how am I going to attack it? And so, as Spencer Jones says, the Prince of Positivity, shine bright and keep pushing.
I like that. I know Spencer very well. He's a mutual friend of ours, and he, guys, is the Prince of Positivity. Let me share something with you about Spencer, David. I went to the States. It was last year around March. I think it was the BLN Entrepreneur Summit. Right. And I flew back to South Africa, and I arrived so tired. I think it was like 2 a.m. in the morning, and nothing was open. Everything was quiet. It was just me and the cleaning staff at the airport. And I thought, why now get into an Uber to sleep an hour to be back for the next flight? So I thought my layover was going to be an hour or two, but it ended up being 7 hours. And now I'm sitting there because they change the flights all the time. I'm sitting there. I'm so tired. It's just that bench at the airport. I can't really sleep. So I see this live popping up. And who is it? It's Spencer, the Prince of Positivity. And he does this wonderful show, about taking... And I still remember what it was about. It was turning the negatives into positives, And I remember what I commented as well. While he was speaking, I commented and I said, I love to use, whatever comes my way as a vessel so that I can change it to my fuel. I said, use that negative energy as your fuel to inspire you for a greater day or for a greater purpose. And that live that Spencer did that day, that early morning hours, it just gave me that new energy. It lifted me so that I could get through my long layover, get home, and not feel tired and upset. And so thank you, Spencer, for that. Never underestimate the impact that people have. And the same energy is what you put out, David. You're always positive. Guys in the audience, I've known David for quite a while, and we're family, and he's always, whenever I contact David, he's always the same. He's always positive, he's always putting out good vibes there, he's always helping people. So tell the audience, David, about you, because maybe some of our viewers haven't met you before. Tell us your story.
Yeah, thank you so much. So 6 years ago is when I started getting on the journey of opening New Beginnings Motivation. The idea came to me on, I think it was April 20th, April 21st of 2018. And the reason why I came up with the idea was because I lost my older brother at the age of 39, and he was a 14-time Ironman finisher, training for number 15, going for the championship run in Kona, Hawaii. And we were all excited to go cheer him on and all this stuff. But sadly, we lost him in April, and he was supposed to race that race in October. And I remember driving around town the following week after he passed away when the family started coming in from out of state. My best friend for many, many years, since '07, Austin from Des Moines, Iowa. I believe his wife was pregnant. I believe pregnant. I don't remember. Yeah, 2018, they were pregnant with their first son, Marshall, and she was close to giving birth, and she insisted that he come down and be with me for that week. And he drove all the way down and from Iowa, which is a 10-hour drive, and I didn't ask him to. And he just showed up at my front door. And that was when I decided that the love and brothership and the bondship that it came from, not, it started with Austin. And I knew that even though as much as it hurt, and it still hurts today, that my brother Joe is not here physically on earth, that was when I decided that I wanted to create a organization where we could come alongside you and support you and love on you and help you through a difficult time such as that. And it just blossomed from there. The whole idea was, to make it all about Joe. The emotions, the rawness was there, and Joe's still an integral part of what New Beginnings is about. But I've intertwined it with my story and growing up from 1984 of having open heart surgery and having to fight for everything I have, up to where I'm at today. Obviously, I'm not where I want to be today, but I'm very close to where I want to be after going through a life-altering accident back in 2022 and embracing my underdog and pushing forward and taking the lessons that Joe taught me and living my life every single day as a gift, because you never know when your time is going to be called. Yeah. And that's when New Beginnings Motivation became a reality. And that's how everything throughout my life of the last 4 decades I've been living.
Absolutely phenomenal. In essence, you took that tragedy, of losing your brother and going through all those medical experiences, having to go through all those surgeries, and you turned it into a testimony. And what I love about New Beginnings Motivation is really that it's a family. It's a family, and it's open to everyone, and we welcome people, because what is the aim? The aim is to help people, right? To get them to that place, to their goal, to help them have a deeper spiritual experience with themselves, to delve into their character. And you mentioned, how we go on our journey and how there's development involved. That's a journey that never ends. And I think it's an adventure. In some light, it's an adventure, and it's not always a happy adventure, because sometimes the lessons we learn, they're not easy lessons. We might get a little bit upset with the things that we go through, but in retrospect, when we look back, we say, oh, but this shaped me in this manner, and this positive outcome was a parent. Now, you had two positive outcomes recently, and you don't have to mention names if you don't feel comfortable doing so, but you actually impacted two lives greatly recently. Would you like to share the audience about that?
Yeah, there was two friends of mine, and I'll keep their names confidential just because that's what they requested. But there were two friends of mine that have been going through some very difficult times. There have been two times I've had to step in to help out one friend significantly for because he was in a very dark place, and the other friend works his tail off and does everything that he can for his family. And I am so excited for both of them. One is working his tail off, has a great profession, and he's working. I believe it's for those who go into hospice, and this is some. There we go. This is something that he is very specialized in, and I love seeing what he's doing. And the organization is recognizing him for that, and I'm really proud of him for that. The second one is he was on workman's comp for a couple of years, just like me, got significantly injured, and because of the um, opportunity that when we joined a cigar lounge here in Denver and just having a 20-minute conversation with a gentleman back in November last year when I was there with another gentleman about inviting them to the event that we were hosting. This gentleman came and saw what we were all about and became an integral part of our organization. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am to have this man aboard, helping us out and all that jazz. And he has to remain confidential as well, unfortunately. I can't wait for everybody to meet these guys because these guys are my brothers and they've helped me through some very, very difficult time. But because of what this one friend and the other friend connecting with each other, they were able to help out the friend that went through workman's comp to get a new profession. And it's been 2 years of him having to go through the workman's comp system. And workman's comp, for those who know what the workman's comp system is like, it's a very challenging time. And so I just love seeing my guys on my team and my sister on my team scaling for the mountaintop, soaring. And it all starts with the leadership. And that's myself, my VP of operations, Nathan Franks, our marketing director and communications director, Juanita, and our director of events, Joe Leto. When it starts with the four of us and we're all aligned, that's when everything changes. And I love seeing when Juanita mentions that New Beginnings is a family, we are a family and we will battle for each other to protect one another. When I brought on two guys that I thought were going to be a good part of the team, that's outside of the four of us, and I started seeing things that was starting to affect the dynamic of the team and tearing the team apart, I had to make the decision to let those two guys go. And I can tell you, once I did that, the team started to gel even tighter. And it made me a better leader because it forced me to realize that not everybody has that same fire drive that burns within me because New Beginning starts with me. And now with the team that's in place with Juanita, Joe, and Nathan, I know that we will do whatever it takes for those who are in our community to help you push for the summit. So
Absolutely, absolutely. David, you are a very good leader to us. You're leading this group, and the examples that you always use. I love when we have our meetings because we have a strong team, right? It's strong individuals that you're leading, and it's an impeccable team. And you use these illustrations when we have meetings. And I really feel that makes a big impact because it helps us to see what you are putting together, and it gives us a clear view. And it makes me think of that scripture, and this is because NBM is so successful because of the fact that you cast vision. right? And you keep reminding us of that vision, and we keep working at it and moving forward and punching, like Spencer said, and just we continue and continue and continue with NBM. And that scripture says, where there's no vision, the people perish. NBM has a clear vision. NBM, New Beginnings Motivation, knows exactly what it's doing. It knows exactly what the goals are. It knows exactly how to help people, how to lift them. Because I would love to say that our culture is that as we rise, we lift. We want to help people get to that summit of that mountain. And that's a continuous process, guys. It's not that you're going to become a part of the family and then we help you to the first summit, and then our family is not together anymore. It's that we remember that with every summit that you've reached, there's going to be a new mountain to climb. And the valleys will be there, but guess what? NBM family is going to be with you. NBM family is going to motivate you and encourage you and give you guidance. And that's what I love about it, because it's community upliftment. Meticulous has always been about community upliftment through leadership development. So I want to say to you, David, you are a great leader.
Thank you.
And we follow you because we believe in your vision. Now tell us, you not only started this group, you also wrote a book. Tell us about your book and how it can be purchased, because I want the audience members to purchase this book. It's
I,
amazing.
absolutely. Thank you, Juanita. Yeah. First off, I will say I am very fortunate to have a team of four amazing individuals, three amazing men, and one stunning, beautiful woman that helps us out. That is like my big sister. Without you guys, the team, the organization would still be here, but it wouldn't be thriving the way that it is today. I remember when I was doing this by myself, and I was being pulled in 1,000 directions, and now having you guys with me, and when I hand things off to you guys, asking you to take care of something for me so I can focus on what my specialty is. It's such a blessing to have you. So thank you to all of you guys, and I'm truly appreciative of that. So back in April, I've been working on this book back for 11 months, and it was supposed to launch back in January, but I had to let go of the publisher that I was working with at the time and found an amazing new one that really got me laser focused and helped me get my vision and my mission into this book. Like, it took a long time to get this book done, but it was worth the wait. And the title of the book is Base Camp, the Start of a New Beginning. And a lot of people talk about in the public speaking world that they know how to talk about how to create a new beginnings. And a lot of people do. I'm not dismissing that. I'm not putting anybody down. Everybody has life experiences that happen to them over the years, right? And there's usually one or two instances in life that happens. In my case, I've had 5 or 6. And that's all happened within the last 6 years, 2 years specifically. Fell on ice, hit my head, 3 brain bleeds, knocked myself out for 25 minutes. Cerebral tonsils dropped, almost killed me. Somehow I woke up after being knocked out for 25 minutes. Tore up my right shoulder, labrum rotator cuff. That's not life-threatening enough, obviously. But in the midst of all that, I found out I had thyroid cancer. And we weren't sure if it's stage 1, stage 2, 3, or 4, 39 years old. I'm like, okay. 39 years old, here I am with thyroid cancer. Doctors take the thyroid out. Found out it was just contained in that one nodule. Fortunately, thank God. But I still have to be monitored every 6 months to make sure it doesn't spread throughout the body or go to my lymph nodes. What I shared earlier with the death of my older brother, that was a aortic dissection. And typically, that's just one of those deals that happens just by the freak of nature, but it was genetic. And sadly, I have to live with that every single day for the next 6 months, for the rest of my life. And every 6 months, I have to go into my cardiologist to be checked to make sure that everything's copacetic. And so I decided to want to write a book as a tribute to my brother, but combine it with how to begin again. And I always say that we all have a divine right to begin again. When we become Christians, we're born again. And so the idea of base camp, the start of a new beginning, sorry, became a reality. And we had to push it back a few months, and now it's available through our website. We do have some square attachments that if you want to purchase the book, please feel free to reach out to me, David Vrablik. You can see my last name at the bottom of the screen here. It's not a very easy last name to spell. You can reach out to me and ask me if you want to purchase the book. Now, there is in works a workbook that will be coming with the main book itself and the journal that's going to come with it. And that is all priced together at $150 with a custom challenge coin. But if you want to buy the book individually, it's $39.99 with shipping and all that included. So if you're ready to get your life started and to create that new beginnings, this is the opportunity for you to really get to work on that. And not only does it come with that, it gives you access for 1 month into my New Beginnings Summit group, which is our private, all-inclusive group where you can join us for on a weekly basis to talk about what you've learned from the book and build from there. And then we'll have to talk about the month after that on pricing for going forward for the rest of the year. But base camp became a reality because I wanted to change lives and wanted to just build from there. So thank you so much, Juanita.
Absolutely, absolutely. I wanted to give you the stage so that they can soak up, the audience and soak up what you're saying. Guys, you know what I was thinking when David was speaking? I was thinking you never go in, like, I'm from Africa, right? I'm not in Africa at the moment, but I'm from Africa. So let me use this illustration. You don't go into the bush without your map, your compass, and everything that you need. Now you need a guide, right? You need to know where you are at and where you need to be heading. And I feel like NBM is the same. It's that guide that you have. And not only do you have David's amazing book as your guide, you have the workbook so that you can work through the questions, you can work through the statements, and you can connect those dots in your personal capacity. But wait, there's more. You also have the group. And in this group are phenomenal people who have been through similar experiences, who have also faced very difficult valleys, have made it to the summit. They're busy climbing their next mountain, and we all work together. There are so many amazing people in that group, guys. Highly qualified people, successful people, people who are out there to specifically help the underdog. And it's not to say that we're just an underdog when we start out, right?
Right.
Every new level, I know there's a church saying that says every new level has a new devil, right? So
Yes.
in work and in business, I mean, every new level has its own new challenges, and we are here for you. We have experts in our group that can assist you in this process. Now, David, we have events as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And yes, tell us about the events and how we can gear up for those, because you guys put together, I know you and Nathan are mainly with the event side, amazing events. Tell us about the events.
Oh my gosh. The events are always different, are always amazing. I never know what's going to come. I never know what to expect, but there's always moments that I stand there in the room with everybody and I just stand back and I watch. And I remember back in November, we had our weekend of discovery, the Legacy Edition here in Denver, and we were at Del Frisco's, a private dinner room, and we had the patio out the back with the fire going. And I remember a beautiful couple that's came from one of our cigar lounges. The wife came up to me after I spoke, and she was in tears, and she gave me a big hug and a kiss on the cheek and said that truly resonated with me. And that really just hit me to the core. because one of the biggest things that we include in every event that my team and I plan with my coach, Michael Faber. Without Michael Faber, I don't know where we would be. He is a massive integral part on helping me become a better leader for these guys. Every leadership quality, relationship quality that I have learned in the last several years has been from Michael Faber about really tapping into the emotion side of things, because I closed my heart off for a lot of years after Joe died and my ex-wife left. And Michael and I meet twice a week and work through that. And we're planning our next one coming up with the help from Nathan and Juanita and Joe. But like I was saying, um, I never know what's going to happen. And I am so excited because what we got going on coming up in August, we're coming back with the Magic of Possibilities retreat, igniting the spark within you. And this is a family designed retreat to really pull together and to ignite that spark within. We work with, like Juanita said, with a wide range of different people, but where we truly focus on is those who have reached the top of their careers. I mean, and connect with a deeper part of themselves, but have that fire that want to connect with a deeper part of themselves. A lot of times I have known people in highly successful businesses and that they would work their body to the bone, their emotions to the bone. I had one friend that would work from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. as his daughter was growing up. And this was a friend that I used to go bird hunting with, and my wife and I would spend time with the family and stuff. But I would see this man in the office all the time and waste time not being with his daughter as she was growing up. And it truly broke my heart. And so I wanted to come alongside highly successful businessmen and women to help them connect with a deeper part of themselves. If that's a relationship that you need to patch up, if that's a marriage, or if that's a connection with a son or a daughter, that's what this retreat is designed for families to come together and to unleash that greatness and ignite the spark within them, so that at the end of the retreat, you guys can hit the ground running, and New Beginnings is going to be sprinting with you. And like Juanita said earlier, even though here in Colorado, the highest peak that we have is some around 14,000 feet, but there's also a mountain in our beautiful world that's 24, 26,000 feet high. There's many more summits to push for. And so that's what we want to do with this retreat. And we've got some other things in the works, but I'm still getting to fine tune them and stuff like that. And we'll announce those later. But I really want to encourage everybody to take the time. It's 3 days. It's all inclusive. It's $2,600 for hotel, meals, conference, park admission, special features coming with the retreat. I can't tell you, $2,600 for Disney World is very, very cheap. And I was able to arrange that with them. So I really want to encourage the fathers, the mothers, the boyfriends, the girlfriends, the significant others, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles. If you're ready to connect truly with your family and you want to unleash the greatness within you and you want to ignite that spark within you and you want to create that new beginnings for your family, come join us August 22nd through the 25th of this year.
Of this year, guys, absolutely. I mean, that 2.6K, guys, for that whole experience, all inclusive, that's a very good price. I don't know how you pulled that off, David, but it's going to be an amazing, amazing event. And I love the fact, and I think that's also what I believe will draw people to the events and draw people to the movement, the family of NBM, is the fact that we are family orientated. It's very, very important, guys, that we stay family focused. We have to focus on our morals and our values. We have to build that foundation because we are, in essence, creating our future. We have to pour out into those families and to our children and be there for them. Now, I want to ask you, David, sometimes when we're busy climbing that mountain, We go through all of these personal experiences. There's obstacles that we go through. We overcome those obstacles. We reach that summit just to find ourselves at the foot of the new mountain, right?
Yep.
Now, sometimes when that new mountain is something exciting for our lives, right? We've climbed the other 6 mountains. We're climbing the big one now. Sometimes there's people that oppose us for no reason. Sometimes there's people that don't want to see us climb that mountain up to the summit. What would you say to someone who is facing something similar at the moment? Maybe a little bit of opposition from people they thought that were very close to them.
And I love that you bring that up because, when you're at the foot of the first mountain or you're at the foot of the next mountain, that I call that base camp. And that's where dreams become a reality. That's
Yeah.
where you take that first step to push for the summit. And when you have those that are opposing you and telling you that you're not going to make the climb, you're going to give up, not even halfway up the mountain. I've had that happen in my own personal life. And the top two core values of New Beginnings is faith, spiritually, obviously, and faith in oneself.
Yeah.
And the second one is family. The third one I'm going to touch on, and that's resilience.
Mm-hmm.
The only person that can stop you from making the climb to that summit, it's not those in your life that are trying to tell you that you can't do it. It's you.
Yep.
If you know deep down in the core of your heart and the core of your soul, the core of your being, that you're going to make this climb and that you're worth it, you're going to do everything in your power to make that climb. And what the second core value is family. The one thing that I have learned over the last couple of years is that family is not always about blood. It's the
Yeah.
family that we choose to have in our life. I've mentioned Spencer Jones. I mentioned Michael Faber, Javier Santana, Juanita Kapp, the Unleash You Now family, Jones and Academy, the MBM family.
Yeah.
We're all from different parts of the world. We're
Mm-hmm.
all from different parts of the United States. But when we get together at events or just time to spend time together, it's like a family reunion. And when you build that type of family and that support, and Michael Faber always told me about this when I was going through the midst of my struggles with those in my life that told me I was never going to amount to anything and that I was a failure and all that stuff. It doesn't mean that you have to remove them completely from your life. Sometimes you have to do that, but I advise that you really pray about that and take time before you do that, because that is a very big decision and you have to be sure, not in your head, because your head reacts faster than your heart and your soul. You got to pray about it. You got to listen to what your heart and soul is telling you. But Michael always told me you can love them from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have the family that I mentioned with the Unleash You Now, the Jones and Academy, the Meticulous Moments, Juanita Kapp, the MBM family, and you keep those close to you when you're going through the midst of it and you allow them to pour into you, you're going to become fearless. You're going to become unstoppable. You're going to become unbreakable. And that's when the faith in yourself will grow exponentially. That's when your spiritual faith will go, okay, all these people believe in me. I am starting to believe in me, but does God believe that I can do this? And when you feel that in your heart and soul,
yeah,
you're going to push for the highest summit of the world. And I think everybody knows what that is, and that's Mount Everest. So when those negative naysayers, those toxic people are telling you that, I always say, smile,
mm-hmm.
say, don't tell me I can't. And then you just politely move past them and you scale the mountain. And the black and green, the green and black will be by you every step of the way.
Absolutely. And by the green and black, David means NBM. You gave shout outs to some incredible people. I want to give a shout out to Michael Faber as well. With the Unleash You family, I had the opportunity to meet them in New Jersey, Cherry Hill. We were all at the event together. They are also doing incredible work. Now, can you see, guys, the host of people that gather together in NBM, in New Beginnings Motivation? You are in good hands. And the best part of it all is we all grow together. Remember, life is about learning for the rest of your life. It's a lifelong journey. It's a lifelong experience of character building, picking up new skills, letting go of some of the things that have held you back in the past. That's the way you scale that mountain. Now, when we talk about toxic people, there's something that you mentioned. You know, you said you don't have time to stop, and you have your goal. You have to keep going. I was thinking about, when you're a runner, because that was my experience when I used to do cross country running at school. We would run 10 kilometers. Now, I mean, you guys speak in the US about miles. I think that's about 6.6 miles, something around that. So our coach would take us way out of town, 10 kilometers out of town. He would drop us there and he would say, I'll see you at the school, at the sports field. And you had to run that distance and get there. Everybody was doing their own thing. And when you get about halfway, you get tired because it is Africa, guys. The sun is beating down on your head. You don't have any water with you. That's part of the training. It's part of teaching you how to have endurance. If you stop at that point in time, just in the middle, with all these external things coming at you, the sun, and you're thirsty and your feet start to sweat and they hurt. If you stop there, it's going to be so hard for you to get into that rhythm and in that pace. Don't stop with what you're doing when toxic people are sending maybe negative things at you.
Yep.
Jog slower or walk, but keep moving, like David said. Don't stop because really you don't have time. And what I liked about what you said about what Michael said was, love them from a distance. Always make sure to send out that love and peace to the world, that good energy, because really what you send out is going to be reciprocated. NBM is always sending out upliftment. NBM is always sending out good energy to people, good advice, always helping people along their journey. You've gone through so many personal difficult experiences. What has it been like now when you've reached that pinnacle of that mountain, looking back? What are the things that stand out that helped you to get to that top of that mountain?
Man, that's a complex answer coming with that question, Juanita. And the best way that I can explain it, I mean, I can say I know a lot of people may not know the Colorado area, but one of our tallest mountains here is Mount Evans or Pikes Peak. And I can remember looking down back at my base camp, and I can go all the way back to when Joe died. And the person that I was back then, I mean, I was not the man I am today. A lot of times throughout my life, I always used to just let other people handle crisis moments. And when Joe died, that was the first time I had to really step up for the family, because I had to be the one to tell the parents when they were on vacation that their oldest son passed away. And, that will always be the most difficult time in my life. And when I look back after going through, the head injury, the shoulder injury, and the thyroid cancer, and all the other issues that have happened over the last several months, I look back down and I thank God every single day that I had the strength. Because, my friends, at the end of the day, I used to think that true strength was physical strength. And I used to be the man that could lift 100, 150 pounds without any problems. And I could always do that. And now at the age of 41, with all the shoulder injuries and the head injury and my knee issues, I can't do that anymore. And when I look back down at that broken man who did not have any confidence in himself, I look down and I'm truly grateful for the lessons that I've been through. As much as I would rather have Joe here physically with me in person, He's with me every single day in my heart. And every single day I talk to him. Even though I can't hear him auditorial coming back to me, I talk to him and I say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. And, I leave it alone because I know I won't hear his voice coming back. But when I can feel it in my heart and soul, I know that's him and God telling me to run with it. And when I used to be that guy that could pick up the heavy stuff, I realized that true strength is not external, it's internal. And that's one of the greatest qualities that I have developed over the last 6 years. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, and any one of them could have broken me. And when I look back down there and I remember trying to isolate myself from everybody in my life, that was the loneliest time of my life. And I have people in my life that will not let me be by myself. Nathan, Michael, Juanita, Javi, Spencer. Everybody reaches out to me when I go dark. If that ever happens, Nicole Vanecki. But I'm always truly grateful for the time that I had with Joe, because if it wasn't for the time I had with him, it wouldn't have built me into the man that I am today. New beginnings probably would not have become a reality. It would have come later on in life. And as painful as it was to lose him, I am grateful that New Beginnings became a reality and can be that beacon of hope for those in dark times. So no matter what you're going through in life, and I'm not saying I'm stronger than anybody, because I'm not. I've had issues and I still have issues to this day. But if I can do it, you can do it. And let's do it together.
Absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. And the audience is also enjoying, you sharing about your journey. I say hi to Beverly de Priya. She's in South Africa. She was one of my congregation members. I still have a rock that she gave me. It was shaped in a heart, and it was Jeremiah 29:11, and it said, I know the plans I have for you, plans to make you prosper, not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope. So Beverly, I saw your name there. I saw you liking this and commenting, and just hi to you, my sister. Victor Gonzalez is on with us. Yay! I hope to have him on the show soon. And also Ron Murray. He's part of my MAM group, my Meticulous Martial Arts Mastermind. Absolutely love Ron and his beautiful wife, Tracy. So many wonderful people out there, David, that are drawing inspiration from your words today, from your life story, and from the group that you started, because you really rose out of the ashes, like the griffin, like you explained the other day. That really was your experience. It was your process. And I agree with you that if you can do it, or I can do it, or someone else can do it, everybody can do it. That's why we are here, is to help people. I want to play an NBM video, because I thought about Joe when you were speaking about your brother. I thought about that song that was written for him. Now, David and I had a brand new video for you for today, guys. Unfortunately, I don't think my Microsoft is aligning with the iCloud. I don't know. It doesn't want to upload it. I am going to add it to this video when it gets sent off to the TV station, so it will be on. But I want to play one of our other videos so that you can hear the beautiful song that David had specifically written for his brother and for NBM. So let's check this out, guys.
There's no one like you. In the valley where the shadows cling lies a base camp of dreams where hopes take wing, but the summit calls out with a voice every night. It's the place where the brave and bold belong. In our hearts we've needed it all along. Now it's time to break free from the chains that bind. Search to the top, where dreams take flight. Embrace the unknown, no longer hide. Journey's not easy, but oh, it's right. New beginnings await, take your first stride. With each step we take, we don't care if we fail. No longer confined to the same trail. As we climb, we find freedom in our glorious tale. breaking the mold, growing bolder every day we breathe. Stairs to the top, where dreams take flight. Embrace the unknown, no longer hide. Journey's not easy, but oh, it's right. New beginnings await, take your first stride.
That is one of our New Beginnings motivation videos, guys. How amazing is that song? I mean, I was editing that video and I just loved listening to that song. It tells the story of where all of this began. Now, I want to speak to the audience for a moment and say, look back over your life and look back at where you are at the moment and where you want to be. And kind of formulate what a new beginning would look like for you. And guess what's the next step? Decide to do it. And what's the next step? Just go ahead and do it like David said. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't make excuses. Don't wait until you're ready, because that will never happen. Sometimes you have to jump and just have faith that God's going to catch you. So start your new beginning today. Now, David, it's been so wonderful to host you here today. Do you have any final words for the audience before we go into our last little video?
Yes, ma'am, I do. For those out there that are moms, dads, grandparents, brothers, sisters, loved ones, what type of legacy do you want to leave behind that will last for generations to come? And one thing I can tell you as the owner, CEO, and founder of New Beginnings, I will go to battle with you every single day to help you get to that summit. I will help you begin again. I've been through it. There are going to be some difficult challenges along the way, but you will never be alone. So the time is now to act. The time is now to rise from the ashes and reclaim and reinvent what you want your life to be. So let's create that legacy. A lot of us have already created that legacy, but let's make sure that that legacy outlasts for generations to come, so that in 10 generations, when they look back at their great grandma or grandfather or uncle or brother, that they're still talking about you. And that's what New Beginnings is here to do. So let's get going. Let's rise from the ashes. Like I said, let's reclaim, reinvent, and let's push for the summit of Mount Everest, because that's going to take some time to climb. There's 6 camps to get through, but we can do it. And I will be more than honored to be your guide and to be your brother and to be alongside you and love you along the way. And everybody on the team of New Beginnings will be with me every step of the way. Juanita, thank you so much for having me. It's always a privilege to come on Meticulous Moments. And selfishly, I am truly grateful that you are an intricate part of the New Beginnings team. And I thank you publicly for everything that you do for me personally as a sister to me, and professionally what you've been doing for New Beginnings. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, David. It is an honor, and a shout out to you as well. We've walked a long journey together and we are family, guys, and our team is amazing. David, thank you for sharing your heart, your experiences, your vision with us. Go NBM team, guys. Reach out to David on social media. Become a part of our group. You will never look back. You will look forward to what's ahead. So I thank you, David, for being here today and for gracing our stage. We'll see you in the next session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Guys, that was another episode of Meticulous Moments. Now, I used to just stream from South Africa most of the time, about 80% of the time. And then I started traveling and going to events. And then last year, at the end of the year, I think I was manifesting it. I told everybody publicly that I was going to take Meticulous Moments on the road. I was going to go to different places and meet different people and stream and learn and make those connections, because that's what I love to do. I love to connect with people. I love to connect the right people with each other, so that everybody can build new families, can build their future. And during that process, Of course, I met my fiance, Kevin Oliver. So shout out to him. He's a part of the Awareness family. He started the Awareness family, and they are also on board as a sponsor with Meticulous. Our main sponsor for 2024 is New Beginnings Motivation. We just had the opportunity to interview David Vrablik, and they have been on board, guys, since last year, and we are doing amazing things. And then the Awareness family also wanted to sponsor us here on E360 TV. So shout out to Kevin Oliver, my fiance, and I'm going to be playing their video as well. Make contact with them and become a part of the family. I'll see you guys in the next session. Baby, that was it. I want me cause I take two. I'm into a figure stop to follow.
Yeah. My mind and I ain't no social activist. I'm asking this. Stay for a while now. Put the guns down. You can find another way. You can heal from your pain. Stay for a while now. Put the drugs down, you can find another way. You can heal from your pain.
Beginning, baby, that was it. I want me cause I take two. I'm into a figure stop.